Hello, my name is Thomas Thorson. I'm going to talk about paper versus plastic and why this is an ethical issue. So, I'm first going to introduce my idea, um, talk about why plastic is bad for the environment, talk about some remedies, a conclusion, sources. So, let's just get right to it. So everybody has probably been asked at some point or another whether they prefer paper or plastic at the grocery store in regards to their grocery bag. This might not seem like a terribly difficult dilemma, especially when you consider that plastics are used to make just about everything from plastic bags, trash bags, sandwich bags, packaging, containers for soda pop, um, computer components. The list is endless. And these all might seem harmless, but plastic is really dangerous to the environment. Um, Basically, because plastic doesn't actually biodegrade, it does something called photodegrade, which is when it breaks down from sunlight, just floating around ambiently. So it breaks into smaller and smaller pieces, but it never really disappears. Um, so these small pieces of plastic also can absorb toxins in the environment, and when they're ingested by animals, it can poison them, and then right on the food chain it goes. It's also buoyant, and fun fact that plastic can be found in every single waterway, ocean, and sea on the planet, um, and it gathers in gyres, which I'll talk about later, in the oceans. And the biggest one is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So what this is a big floating mass of garbage in the ocean, Pacific Ocean. There's several of these, but this one's the biggest one. Estimates are given that in most cases, in any square mile of the ocean, you can find 46,000 pieces of plastic. However, in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, there are an estimated 750,000 pieces per square kilometer, or 1.9 million pieces per square mile, um, courtesy of National Geographic. So the picture right next to you, right next to that, those bullets, is just one of the little tiny floating masses that you will see in this part of the ocean. Here are a couple more pictures to the left. There is some plastic bottles with some looks like mussels or clams attached to them. To the right of that picture is a gigantic mass floating around in the ocean, and there's a diver there next to you for comparison of size. More stuff here. I got the same picture in here twice, but the one picture on the left there looks like someone had a pet, like a toy that got lost in the ocean. So the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, uh, these this trash is washing up all over the world on beaches. There's actually some beaches in Hawaii that are buried under 10 feet of plastic and debris and garbage from this uh, this plastic soup in the ocean. A lot of the beaches too, all over the world, have plastic sand, which is just millions of pieces of that microscopic, photodegraded plastic, and it's impossible to clean up. There's no way to separate all that sand, all that plastic from all that sand, so that's permanently there. So how did this happen? What exactly is the North Pacific Gyre, where the garbage patch is located? Um, the gyre is basically a swirling, almost like a vortex, but it's really, really large. It's just a gigantic current circulating around the ocean um, because of high pressure and the rotation of the Earth. And what this does is it acts as a kind of vacuum to push everything to the middle of the gyre, where it's very calm and very stable. So things just accumulate there, and then they just drift and collect. Some estimates of this say that the garbage patch is twice the size of Texas, so it's pretty big, and it's pretty dangerous and pretty bad. So more importantly, though, this is primarily the cause of, or the effect of human neglect and just plain laziness, not recycling, um, not taking care of our planet. You know, letting trash just fall around out of our cars, littering. All that trash, all that plastic eventually makes its way to the ocean. Another serious problem is ignorance of this problem. Um, I've discovered this a few years ago, and everybody I've shown it to has never heard of this problem before. They had no clue that these plastic uh, wastelands in the ocean even exist. So it's pretty dangerous. And then another thing is that we're not using bioplastics that are available to us. So, um, obviously anything will help. Recycling will help, of course. Getting or reduce, reuse, recycle is huge. But what I think is going to be a more important remedy and more permanent is the bioplastics that are available to us, and these are made of materials, natural materials like starch, cellulose, soy protein, um, lactic acid, all these naturally occurring substances that we can draw from that biodegrade. And actually, these plastics can be composted, and as little as 90 days if done properly in a compostable environment. So keep in mind that plastic never really biodegrades, and it takes hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Some estimates say that um, that those pictures of the ducks with the six-pack pop can plastic rings around their necks, those plastic ring things will last about 400 years before they completely photodegrade into pieces that are too small for us to see. So they're pretty dangerous. So my conclusion is, maybe that plastic isn't um, good for us. Maybe that question, whether or not you want paper or plastic, is more of an ethical conundrum than you might think. Um, Plastics are clearly devastating our oceans. The North Pacific garbage patch is just one example of this happening. They are all over the world. Where all these gyres are is where the trash locates itself. And we need to do something fast. Clearly, something needs to be done. Awareness is crucial. Everybody needs to know about this, and please recycle your plastics. That's probably one of the biggest things we can do right now to at least help avoid making it bigger. Um, we also have to use these bioplastics. We have the technology available for us. They're a little more expensive to use, but in the long run, I think they would be a lot more beneficial to our environment because they will actually biodegrade and not photodegrade, and that's what we want. So our future really just depends on it. If we don't take care of our planet, we will not be able to take care of ourselves. So our planet is our lifeline, and when it's gone, we're gone. Um, so here are my sources, and here are the other two. Thank you very much.